The Flash, being the fastest man alive, shouldn't really have any characters faster than him, right? Well, how else are you supposed to have drama? With super speed, you have godlike powers, so of course there's gonna have to be some sort of issue. And those are what we're exploring today. Let's do it. In at 10, Reverse Flash. While he may not have been the fastest in, like, the show for the Flash, there is no describing the significance of the Flash's true archenemy of the Reverse Flash. A few people have gone by this title over the years, most notably Eobard Thawne. Thawne is the ultimate catalyst in Barry Allen's life, being not only the reason Barry's mother died, but also the reason he became the Flash. Since in the Flashpoint timeline in the comics and the animated movie, Barry never gained super speed when his mother was saved. In the year 2463, when he was a child, Eobard saw his dad kill his mom. Later, he became connected to the Speed Force after being struck by a bolt of lightning and attempted to take control over Central and Keystone City. But it didn't work because the 21st century Flash was revered as a legend, which caused people to rebel and fight in his name. He would then forcefully take over the cities and burn down the Flash Museum, like the ultimate petty act. But still, it's as if Eobard is Barry's jealous ex-girlfriend who went absolutely psycho when she sees him happy with someone else. Like, damn dude, okay, just chill out. In at 9, Black Racer. First introduced in Captain America number 337 in 1988, the Black Racer is a villain in the Marvel Universe. She was introduced as a member of the Serpent Society and has been a recurring villain over the years, even if they aren't as common as that would make it seem. Ariana Siddiqui can run and move at superhuman speed and was the 4th member of the Serpent Squad along with Copperhead, Fer-de-Lance, and Puff Adder. She continued on with the Serpent Society, though appearing sparsely throughout the team's later appearances. Her name and snake motif is actually based on a type of snake found all around the US called the Eastern Racer. The snake is also known as the Black Racer or the Buttermilk Racer, but they are nowhere near extinct, unfortunately. I hardly see any snakes these days, so here's hoping that I don't have to deal with that. I don't see a harm in them, but like I know that Taylor thinks that spiders are worse than snakes, but he's wrong. You can grab a snake by the head if you're brave enough, and then you can't really do anything, but like you can't do that with spiders, okay? Have you ever seen like someone grab a spider by the neck? No, exactly, they don't have one. Not even Billy the Exterminator would do that. In at 8, Godspeed. August Hart is a former detective partner of Barry Allen. August was the only witness to Barry's accident that turned him into the Flash, and while going after a criminal organization called the Black Hole, August was struck by lightning during a Speed Force storm in Central City. August then became the ruthless vigilante known as Godspeed, and he got his revenge on who he suspected to have killed his brother. He had given up on the justice system since his brother's killer had gone free, and with this newfound power, he had the ability to become judge, jury, and executioner. August also realized after he had gotten his powers that he had the ability to steal other speedsters' speed. Though for a time he could only do it by killing them, he practiced the skill and then was able to do it non-lethally. With his new godlike speed, August was able to move so fast as to create a duplicate of himself at any given time, allowing him to give the illusion that he and Godspeed were different people, which is pretty damn sick considering the alternatives are like Speed Mirage and Time Remnant, which aren't really the same thing, but I mean, still. You also haven't seen me and Batman in the same room, so how can you know that I'm not Batman? Exactly. And at 7, Zoom. The CW version of Zoom was not exactly what everyone was expecting, although you have to admit he is one of the best and the scariest villains in the Arrowverse to date. The sheer demonic look that he had, especially with the suit, shook even me, okay? However, thanks to the Velocity 9 that he was taking, Hunter Zolomon was incredibly fast, the fastest that we had seen at that point. So fast even that in order to fight him, Barry had to take speed out of the equation, and then during the final fight he had to create a time remnant, which was basically him again because he wasn't fast enough to stop Zoom alone. It only got worse after Zoom had kidnapped Wally, and Barry gave Zoom his speed in order to get Wally back, because that only made Zoom faster, and then when it comes to the final fight, Time Wraiths are the ones to take out Zoom, and then he becomes Black Flash and gets supercharged by the Speed Force to become the living embodiment of death for speedsters. So yeah, it's safe to say that while he may not be faster than Barry is now, at the time, Zoom was the fastest speedster we'd seen. In at 6, Blaze Allen. Speed Demon, first introduced introduced in Speed Demon number 1 is, aside from what you might have called your ex to your girlfriends, a combination of Barry Allen and Johnny Blaze. Blaze was a circus daredevil who sold his soul to become the first Speed Demon, and yes, there are actually multiple. The demon component of Etrigan was actually also formerly Jay Garrick before the Night Spectre stole Jay's soul. The Night Spectre approached Blaze and asked him to serve in his mission to collect the souls of the most pure and most corrupt, which seems weird to me, but okay, whatever. Blaze Allen refused, so in an attempt to persuade him, Night Spectre stole Iris's soul. On their wedding night, no less. What's worse, this or an invasion of a fascist regime? I don't know. Ask Barry Allen. Blaze then accepted the bond, hoping to get Iris back, or at least to ensure her safety, but of course it didn't happen. Speed Demon only speaks in rhymes and is a speedster with a flaming skull head that can breathe hellfire. Okay, that's pretty freaking sick. And Wally West, which is Danny Ketch and Wally West, again, don't know why it's not Wally Ketch or Danny West, but whatever, also accepted the power to try to help get Iris back, but again, it didn't work. I don't know why you thought that it was going to. Halfway through into number 5, Runner. Runner isn't exactly like a villain in the typical sense, but I mean like all godlike entities that don't really focus on helping and then just do things for their own enjoyment are still kind of villains in some form or another, right? So like he's more villain than good guy, but he's also neither. Well, either way, Runner fits that bill. Holding races of heroes and villains alike, dceu's the fastest in the multiverse, but also being extremely arrogant. This guy has been around since the Big Bang and has had all the time to get faster and learn even more. His main goal is not to blow up and then act like he don't know nobody for timely Vine references, but rather to be the first person to see everything the universe has to offer. And if anyone can do it, it's going to be this guy. He is so fast that he will show up at a place before he's even decided he wants to go there, which doesn't make sense to me, but it still speaks to how fast this literal primordial being is. He's faster than the Speed Force, a literal force of nature, so he is absolutely faster than the Flash, and since he doesn't really care about keeping things in balance, I'm certain that he also won't care if the world ends as long as he gets to see it. That's why he's at the middle. He doesn't really care. In at 4, Savitar. The fastest evil speedster we've seen from the CW is Savitar, and while his comic counterpart is interesting, definitely, the truth is the CW version of the character is even faster than most versions of the Flash, being so fast that he basically teleports instantly between where he is and where he wants to go. And not only that, but this was all while he was trapped inside of a Speed Force prison, which is only more insane. The story for this character is kind of insane as well, with Savitar being a time remnant of Barry that was made while fighting Savitar in the future. Yeah, this time remnant then gets shunned by Team Flash for not being the real Barry, even though he literally is, but then that time remnant, because of that, gets mad, travels back in time, and becomes Savitar to start the cycle all over again. It seems that Savitar gets his speed increase because of his suit, since while he's inside it, he can, again, travel at near instantaneous speeds and has white lightning, but when he's out of it, he has actual, like, Barry lightning. This character was basically the TV version of Future Flash, but the suit is also still badass. I really like it. I want it, please. Getting close to the end, in at number 3, Lightray. Lightray, a formidable warrior and member of the New Gods from New Genesis, dutifully served Highfather as part of the Council of 8. When Highfather discovered the location of the life equation, he assembled the council and assigned Lightray the task of acquiring the violet ring from the emotional spectrum. The goal was to merge the 7 rings' powers and channel the white light of life. However, they ended up making the one ring, and then that's where Lord of the Rings comes from. Not really. Their attempt fails, and they realize that it was the rings themselves that needed to be merged into a single white ring and not just the lights. Highfather then ordered the council to eliminate all the Lantern Corps and then search for a White Lantern ring, the possessor of the life equation, but it didn't happen. It's a whole mess, alright? But I mean, also, literally a being made of light, so you just gotta believe me, okay? Source, trust me, bro. But ultimately, in at number 2, Black Flash. However, while Savitar is scary, there is one speedster that even Savitar was scared of. That speedster being Black Flash, because you know what? Technically, it's a different thing. Black Flash is the Grim Reaper of the Speed Force. Making his first appearance in Flash Volume 2, number 138 in 1998, he was seen before the deaths of several speedsters, including Barry Allen, Johnny Quick, and Bart Allen. In essence, not only making him the embodiment of death, but also also the speedster Omen of Death. In the CW Arrowverse though, he was Hunter Zolomon after being caught by Time Wraiths and was killed in the season 3 finale of Flash by Killer Frost when she came after Savitar since the Paradox had finally caught up with him. But in the comics, thanks to the combined efforts of multiple speedsters including Jesse Quick, Jay Garrick, and Max Mercury, Wally West was able to race Black Flash until the end of time, causing death to have no meaning, which beat him, whatever that means. But it also didn't matter for long, since Barry Allen later returned in the Flash Rebirth storyline, unknowingly becoming the new Black Flash, until Professor Zoom took that title after his corpse was raised in Blackest Night. Black Flash has been so many speedsters that I have to say that he's faster than Barry. And finally, in at number 1, Speed Force. Okay, going back to the CW for a minute, going from a crisis where the Earth gets destroyed, it's hard to make any other story seem worth it. And I mean, it was every Earth too, not just the one. However, the absolutely crazy thing is that in the following season of The Flash, season 7, they still upped the stakes by having Barry fight the literal Speed Force. And a reborn Speed Force, might I add, since Barry ended up getting it killed when Oliver Queen as the Spectre brought out his full potential in order to save the multiverse. So Barry and Iris end up essentially birthing another one, but at the same time create the 3 other forces that are all evil for one time or another. Yep, this is canon. They then get the others on their side, but the Speed Force wants to kill them because she thinks that the other forces are trying to kill her. And the Speed Force looks like Barry's mom again. They even start calling her Nora. Honestly, it's a question as to how anyone who was watching survived the storyline, let alone Barry fighting the literal thing that gave him his powers, that he then killed and then rebirthed and then is basically the father of, even though it looks like his mom, because the forces call him dad at one point or another. Yeah, season 7 was definitely interesting, but Barry should not have won against the Speed Force because it is literally the Speed Force. I don't know what could be faster than that aside from the dude from earlier, but that's aside the point. If you're excited for the Flash movie or have seen it already, be sure you click the video that's popping up on screen now. It's probably another Flash thing because I'm sure you're binging all of these, and if you're not, watch a playlist, leave it going, leave it on in the background, let the ads play. Do it, right? Thank you. Thanks for watching.